Damien from Team Starbreaker. Despite his lack of screen time overall in the Metal series, literally only appearing in the final arc of Metal Masters and never appearing again, he has left quite an impression amongst fans, with people believing he should have become a legendary blader in Metal Fury, and he was the biggest menace in all of Beyblade, which, I mean, you know, read the title. I'll speak more on the legendary blader thing later, but I do believe Damien is probably the best antagonist in the series besides Ryuga, obviously, and despite his short-lived appearance, without a doubt, he was the biggest menace in Metal Masters. Metal Masters Menace. Oh, alliteration. Now again, Damien's introduction would be around late Metal Masters, when Tsubasa and Yu just get done recovering and are doing some friendly sparring before Damien comes up to them and is like, "Hey guys, you guys wanna play? I just got a new Beyblade." And then literally causes an explosion that just completely sends Yu and Tsubasa back to the hospital and destroys their Beyblade. And this would be just a taste of what's to come, as we get to see just how terrifying Damien is against Julian. Listen, bro, Julian did not deserve this, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I'm going off the script. They did not need to do that to him, bro. And he becomes a better blader because of this, and it doesn't even matter because Damien folds him and his entire team. We literally see Damien take everything away from Julian slowly with each hit his Beyblade hits on Gravity Destroyer. Like every blow Damien throws, we just see his future being burnt. We learned through this fight that Damien is so strong because of Zigarots arrangements, which is a system that specific bladers can go through to reach their max potential. Damien was fortunate enough to be one of the few who can get results beyond expectations, making him the chosen one, or the person who was chosen to be the strongest. And pretty much he battles other people not because he likes strong opponents, but rather it's because it was something he was meant to do, giving him a completely different outlook from pretty much every blader we've been introduced to up to this point. Every character we've been introduced to up to this point has a purpose and has a reason for why they're fighting, whether it's, you know, good, bad, just because they like to fight. But for Damien, it's a little more than that. The arrangement system is something that only a few people can actually draw their full potential out of. Zigarots' whole arrangement system doesn't just hold strong bladers, it chooses the ones who are worthy, which is why out of any character, Damien is the one who just fully relies on this. Even with characters like Jack and Zio, we see that they're able to learn their lesson, but with Damien, we don't. Rather, he just keeps relying on this and just swears he is the chosen and he has to be the strongest because it's his destiny, and we will soon see later on how that is eventually his own downfall. But before that, let's talk about the violation. Everyone mentions how bro summons the Gate of Hades or how he ruined a man's career with a spinning top, but under the surface level, Damien versus Julian is a battle between two people who have strived to be the strongest for very similar reasons. Like I said, Damien is chosen to be the best, so he believes he has to be the best, while Julian's family has always been the best, so he feels like, therefore, he has to be the best at Beyblade. The difference between these two beings is their work ethic and the fact that one of them had a genuine spirit and passion for Beyblade. Damien essentially is a version of Julian who just cheated his way to the top rather than putting in the hard-earned work in order to reach the top, which may be a reason why Damien was able to live rent-free inside of Julian's mind, and literally destroying Excalibur's chances at victory in one special move. Everything that Damien represents is essentially what Julian is trying to reach, but imagine working so hard to reach the level you're at just for it all to get stripped away from somebody who didn't even put in any work, or even nearly half the amount of effort as you. As we've established Julian and Damien's similar natures, we get to see how Damien interacts with someone who has the opposite nature as himself. And funny enough, it is also the only other person who has beaten Julian in the tournament, that being Ginga. Ginga is someone who had to legitimately rediscover his own strength and ensure hope into the future even when the odds were stacked against him. Even when his future or destiny told him otherwise, he always prevailed and chose a destiny he wanted rather than deciding one already chosen for him. And even when Damien tried doing everything to stripe his hope away, legit domain expansioning Ginga and trying to just soul suck him, pause, Ginga stayed locked in and gave Damien the biggest fumbling in his life by this point. He would get kicked out of his own special move and then knocked back into the gates of Hades before then having to go through another arrangement to attempt to fight Ginga again. And unfortunately for Damien, he doesn't even get to fight him. He gets to fight his rival who beats him. Oh my god, Damien, how did you fall off this bad, bro? I'm just kidding. Seriously though, after another arrangement, he would then be met with Kyoya, who, out of any character in the series, represents what it means to choose choose your own path the best. I mean, we've legit seen him go from a street thug to one of the most respected bladers on the planet, and even managing to become equal to Ginga with just pure determination alone and the fact that he wanted to do it. So when Damien not only gets another arrangement, which I mean just completely defies everything that what Kyoya represents, so you could only imagine what's going through Kyoya's head when he's fighting not only probably what he believes to be the greatest fraud in Beyblade, because he didn't work for any of the power he has, but when Kyoya hears Damien mock him and how he's never beaten Ginga, whereas Damien has now surpassed the Ginga that beat him, you already kind of can put an idea in your head as to what Kyoya is thinking. Damien would legit suffer an even worse L than what he did against Ginga, with his own Hades realm being blown up from the inside, and he's literally like screaming like a baby as Kyoya is bullying him. And even at one point, Kyoya just straight up overpowers his domain and just alpha roars at Damien, which has him peeing his pants. And you would think by this point, wow, what an impactful, strong character. I'm sure next season he's gonna be important. He's not even in the next series. But you know who is? Both of his past Team America members, who both get whole character arcs. Toby and Zio end up reuniting and getting new Beyblades, and they're pretty much ending up just like fighting like the goon characters during the legendary Blader arc. They're always in the cut trying to help him out, being like, yeah, we'll stall them. And Jack actually got some nice characterization with him learning past the arrangement system and him actually wanting to become strong himself. God, why does my voice keep cracking? But seriously, the fact that Damien is nowhere to be seen when both of his past team members get characterized this season, and on top of Cerberus not being a constellation under a specific season, so they could have just 100% added an additional blader. And Fury was already shorter than the other series, so hey, add a few episodes to establish Damien. It's kind of unfortunate what happened to Damien, but I guess it's just a Beyblade thing. Like, it happened to Reggie too, so it is what it is. Whether you like him or don't like him, he was by far the coolest character in Metal Masters besides the Cheyenne, of course. And it sucks we never got more from him. Like, oh bro, it would have been cool if at least he was like helping the evil legendary bladers, maybe, you know, have someone like Nile take him out, or Masamune, you know, have him be a stepping stone for the non-legendary bladers to overcome. Maybe, I don't know, man, I'm just spitballing ideas. I'm just thinking it would be really cool. Damien, you should have gotten more screen time. I'm sorry, bro.